What's up, guys? My name's Cole, and this is Three Wheel Golf, where we talk shop, always go for it in two, and never, ever three putt. First off, thanks for being here. If this is your first time at the show, if you don't know, Mondays we do a weekly wrap where we talk about the previous week in professional golf. We talk about who won, who's trending, and who we think is going to find themselves in the winner's circle in the upcoming week. Also, we will have guests on the show from time to time to talk about their journey and experiences within golf, their successes, and some things that they have learned along the way. With that, I just ask that you guys please share the show, leave a review, and subscribe. That would mean a lot and really helps us grow the channel. So without further ado, on Three Wheel Golf, we have got Spencer Osborne. Spencer, how you doing, man?
Doing good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I see you're wearing some Denver Broncos garbage there, but they got a W today, huh?
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Got a W, so got to rep it.
Yeah. What are you thinking for the playoff picture? You think they're going to do anything with it?
I think we make playoffs. Getting a win in the playoffs would be, good. Rookie quarterback. So, it's got to be somewhat of a rebuilding process, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I myself, I'm a Packers fan, have been for a long time, and so um, I wasn't sold on whether or not Jordan Love was gonna do really well for us. But all in all, he's played pretty well, and so they got an opportunity. But the NFC, man, is really difficult this year, and there's just a lot of good teams in the league altogether, and so they're gonna have to play some really good football, to make it
Yeah.
through. But
Yeah. That NFC stack.
yeah, for sure. All right. Well, enough about football for the moment. We'll get into the golf topic. So before we do that, I just want to introduce myself and Spencer. I'll give you guys a little bit of info as to who we are. So, really, the preface of this is I'm a former college golfer, and Spencer is a former college coach. So we'll chat about that just a little bit. So, Spencer, why don't you share with the folks, your experiences in.
Yeah. So Spencer Osborne, obviously. I coached at Northwest Missouri State with our girls program for 2 years there. I was a grad assistant. With the situation, I kind of fortunately got to run practices and, pretty much head coach the girls at tournaments and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun traveling around with the girls, building a practice routine with them and, watching them grow through college as I was kind of doing the same, right? But yeah, I learned a lot about golf and just coaching individuals as a whole through that experience. So it was very valuable experience. Probably, if someone asked me what my favorite job was today, that would be it, right?
Yeah.
I just really loved my time there.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned, the building a practice routine and um, consistency in what you guys are doing day to day to help the team, move toward, winning, obviously, golf tournaments, winning conference, et cetera. That's not inconsistent with a lot of college golf programs. I mean, where I played college golf, whenever I showed up, we didn't have, a super coherent, practice regimen. And so that is certainly something that whenever I got there, it was like, hey, well, just do what I can do to try to create that and hopefully foster it to a point where the other guys jump on board and then we can do something, because our coaches, unfortunately, just kind of weren't doing that, so that's good to see that you were obviously trying to do that. Hopefully, now, I mean, that's been how long ago that you were coaching?
Uh, so it's going on, I guess, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2020. Um, my last golf tournament, we got back from the tournament and um, then we never went to school on Monday
Yeah.
because COVID had hit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the end of my golf coaching career.
Yeah.
Um, Kind of unfortunate. Was really looking forward to that spring with the girls.
Yeah.
Just seeing the progress we've made over the winter, but yeah, so been a while. I did interview for some jobs in the meantime, but unfortunately didn't get one. But really, it's probably a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
With my current job, it allows me to enjoy more golf
Yeah. Yourself.
myself probably than what I would have been doing. So
Yeah. Do you think you would ever, because the college golf season, while it's, fall and spring for most programs, whether it's, conference one part of the season and more invitational stuff in the other half, do you think you would ever maybe try to get back into it with a part-time role just to be around coaching, developing young kids?
Yeah. Whether that be at the college level or the high school level, I don't know. I might be more partial to just doing, like a high school.
Yeah.
Helping out with one of the local high schools here in the north part of Kansas City.
Yeah.
Had some good relationships with some of the athletic directors, so that's not something that I would say is too far off to think that could happen.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, that's cool, man. I hope that happens. Obviously, you have experience doing it, and you seem to like it. So, we want people that are going to coach that have the passion for it. Like I said, I was in an experience where we had a coach that was just kind of a filler, not so much somebody that was invested and had a passion for wanting to help. So,
absolutely.
Anyways, we'll
see that lot go.
Yeah, we'll TBD on that. So really quickly, just a little bit more for you guys out there listening and watching about Spencer and I. So while I am a former college golfer, I have since turned pro 3 years ago, just to pursue the dream of trying to sneak on and play, some high level golf tournaments, whether that's through Monday qualifiers, into a Korn Ferry Tour event or a PGA Tour event. Also doing many tour events, when I can. Spencer, on the other hand, is an avid competitive golfer himself, and so he's playing a lot of amateur tournaments, as much as he can. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, he and I both have little ones at home. Spencer with another on the way, and so. But that's about that's a little bit about us as far as what we're doing in our own individual pursuits of golf, and so. Next year, I mean, you're looking to do some big time amateur stuff. You're wanting to get into the Missouri Amateur and the Kansas Amateur, right?
Yeah. Trying to qualify for both those. Luckily we get the option to qualify for the Kansas Am with the Central Link membership. So gonna try for that. Actually, just got the post that the Missouri amateur qualifier is at Paradise Point this year, so over in Smithville.
Yeah.
It's actually on the opposite golf course that we played. It's on the Outlaw.
Okay.
So I missed out on that last year because I was on a vacation. So looking forward to
that was the one I think you texted me, right? You were gonna do it, and then it didn't work out.
Yeah. We were gonna go down to New Bloomfield.
That's what it was.
The day after I got back, which I did end up playing golf that day in another tournament, and I played poorly, so probably would have been a wasted trip.
Well, I mean, maybe not. You never know. Sometimes having super low expectations is a really good thing. You go out not expecting a lot, and you kind of freeze your game up. So, anyways, well, I'm willing to caddy for you. This next year on this next one. Smithville's a really, that was a cool course. I'll play one of these days. I'll play the other one, but that's where the qualifier is. Where is the actual tournament at? Is it not listed yet, or maybe you just didn't release it?
I don't think they released that yet. I'll have to check. Last year it was actually at St. Joe Country Club, which that would have been really cool to have been.
That's a sweet course. Have you played out there?
Yeah. My cousin's a member there, so I've gotten to play it quite a few times. Yeah,
that place
I played
is
in the
pure.
Invitationals last year. Yeah. Greens are
icy.
It's one of the toughest 6,700-yard golf courses you're going to play.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, and that par 5, I think it's the third. Maybe it's like a forced double layup. Like you can't hit driver off the tee. There's a creek going through, and then there's a water short. So that's a really good par 5. But
and that green's slope severely back to front.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool, man. Enough about that. We'll get into the reason for the podcast. Like I said, bringing the folks, the nitty gritty on, the previous week in professional golf. And so we'll start it off right now. So today was a big day in golf for pros. Q-School, obviously, that's a huge talking point right now. I mean, that is as much of a grind as you're going to find. Obviously, you've seen the reposts about Scotty Scheffler talking about, there's more pressure on, the final round of Q-School than there is, Master Sunday. So 5 spots. Let's see. It was who got through? So Lanto Griffin is the first notable. So he's had he's had PGA Tour status since 2019, pretty much a journeyman guy. Hayden Buckley, another one. Last year was his first year on tour. He actually had a pretty decent rookie season, but unfortunately fell below the FedEx Cup standings, towards the end of the year.
That's a Mizzou guy too.
Hayden is?
Yeah. Oh, Mizzou alum.
Oh, I did not know that. That's cool. Dude, I love his game. I love his swing so much because he does that little takeaway thing, kind of kickstarts his backswing and then he commits. I actually play with a guy. His name's Sean over in St. Louis. And he does that. Like he literally, and what's crazy. So Hayden just takes it back and then he kicks it. So my buddy Sean, he takes it back and then he looks at it. He like literally moves his head off the golf ball and then he goes. It's a bizarre thing. And he's a good golfer. He's a scratch golfer, but Sean McClain, that's his name. Anyways. And then I saw this guy from the Japanese tour, Takamaya Kanaya. I'm not sure, man. I'm not Japanese.
He's got a fun golf game.
Does he?
If you watch him, he hits severely down on the golf ball.
Super steep.
It's a lot of really low ones. It's just a fun golf swing. He seems to have fun out there playing too. So he's a fun guy to watch.
Okay, we'll stay tuned for that, man. I mean, there's more and more guys from the Asian tours working their way to onto the PGA Tour. So that's good to see, man.
That's majority of them. They always just have such good golf swings.
I know, man.
Those guys coming from over there, they always just look so good.
Well, I read a couple of years ago, or maybe it was on a video I saw, but like in training, these guys, like from young ages, like these kids don't even hit golf balls for like a certain period of time. Like they literally just ingrain swing mechanics for a period of time, as part of their training, because the golf ball just provides instant feedback. And if you don't just have the hand-eye to know how to get down and compress it, that does horrible things for your mental state. And, everybody knows how important that is when it comes to playing good golf. So
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I listened to a pod with Jason Day, and he's always said, I've made a million swing changes, especially someone like him that's had back problems and stuff like that. He goes, but it always comes down to that ball flight.
Yeah.
No matter what swing change I make, if the ball flight's not what I want it to be, I'm going to be changing something. I could be in a good spot, but if the ball flight's not there, I'm going to be changing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then next up on the list was Alejandro Tosi. He obviously had PGA Tour status last year. So good to see him obviously just, clutch up in the Korn Ferry Tour finals, of Q-School. The thing is, what I don't think people realize is how insanely competitive the Korn Ferry Tour is. I mean, there are tons of guys on that tour that have won and have had PGA Tour status. It's kind of a shame because the purses on that tour are nowhere near comparable to the PGA Tour, but the talent level is not, I would say, doesn't equate to that discrepancy in pay.
Yeah.
Not far off. It's not that far off. But anyways, man, good to see him do it. And then the last two that secured the cards was Will Chandler and Matthew Rydell. Both guys I saw have never had a PGA Tour start. Young guys, but absolute ballers in college, just coming out and tearing it up.
Yeah. Rydell kind of had to right the ship a little bit on his back nine. He about fell out of it today. Yeah. He was right. He was tied for the lead, and then he was the last spot to get in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still a huge day. I mean, final round is a huge day for all the golfers that made it there.
Oh, for sure.
Because even if you get, that if you're in the next 40 spots, you get guaranteed starts on the Korn Ferry Tour and status, and then past that you get guaranteed America Tour starts. And so that's an incredible accomplishment in and of itself. But obviously everybody's looking for that golden ticket, man, to the PGA Tour. So those are pretty much the highlights for Q-School. Also today was the final round of the Grant Thornton Invitational. That's kind of just a fun event here late in the fall, winter swing before, the next season gets underway. 16 teams, co-ed. I had picked Jennifer Kupcho and Akshay Bhatia to get the thing done. They were in a really good position after the first day, but the UCLA Bruins team, Mr. Jake Knapp, and Patty T,
Yeah.
man, they were playing good golf. They're out there just gripping it and ripping it, and came away with the W.
Yeah, you could probably call Jake Knapp the new mayor of Tempo Town
Facts.
around here. I mean, if you like really good tempo and 120 swing speed, there you go.
It's crazy
Got it right
because
there.
100%. It's crazy because he does not look like he is swinging at a 118, 119 club head speed, but I
Looks
mean,
so easy.
it is. But his ability to separate his body and really use his core, he just generates tons of speed, right at the moment of impact. And yeah, I mean, the minute he came on tour, he won earlier this year in Mexico. Everybody was like, this guy is he's fighting Freddie Couples for the smoothest swing on tour.
He for sure is.
Yeah. So yeah, man, that's good stuff. Next week is the PNC, another just fun event, father son, father daughter, mother son, that kind of setup. I always like watching it, man, because everybody's just going balls to the walls. They're just going for every single shot, but the thing I'm excited about seeing in that is John Daly the second. The kid freaking pounds the golf ball. He's really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would love to see him, make his way on tour. Can you get that done? So, we'll stay tuned. We'll provide some updates on that as far as what that looks like. But, that's what's coming, down the pipeline for golf. And then I think after that, I don't think there's anything from the PNC until the Century. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the schedule right in front of me right now, but
Yeah, I think that's the case. But
that can't be far off.
Yeah. Let's see. And then as far as the YouTube golf is concerned, so for those of you guys that don't know, Spencer and I will be putting some content out on YouTube as far as playing these podcasts, everything else. But John Gruden going to Barstool, I love that, man. I love it.
Yeah.
The best thing for me about that is the bringing the football shop into golf. I mean, there's so much time between shots, right? And don't get me wrong, me and you are golf sickos, man. We could talk golf all day long. But as two guys that also really love football, I mean, did you see the clip of Trent showing John his high school highlight film?
No, I have not
You
seen
have not
that yet.
seen this? Oh my gosh, it is incredible. So Trent was I think fullback, middle linebacker.
I could see that.
And John was kind of jabbing at him. He's like, you don't have much in the way of like lateral speed, getting left or right. But he was aggressive. And Trent, he had one of his highlights was he had a one-handed pick. And John was like, was that you? Was that you? And he's like, Trent's like, yeah, it was me. It was good. But you got to check that out. It's really good. And if you out there listening haven't seen that, you need to check that out too, because it's really good. But yeah. Well, Spencer, what else do you want to add for the podcast pilot episode?
Oh, I was just gonna go a little bit more into that the Q-School.
Let's chat about it. Yeah.
I mean, seeing that be wife peeking in to say hi.
Hey, Will.
But no, I think it's starting to be in a good spot. I mean, I don't think that the two tours is necessarily good for golf, having Live and PGA. I hope they can get that figured out so we have the best players playing against each other.
Yeah.
Every week, and some of these fields that are getting really limited or watered down because, so our best guys don't want to play every week. Some of those fields maybe start to look a little bit better, but something that I've heard a lot of people say is like Q-School, that's a really unique thing. And it's a very high pressure situation. So I mean, I could be wrong, but this is the first time I've ever seen the rounds televised like they were. I would have loved to seen them be a little bit more visible than just being on the Golf Channel.
Yeah.
Like they were, but I think that's, incredible to see that. So hopefully we can see a little bit more of that, moving forward. And I'd love to see more footage of golf's longest day coming up, U.S. Open. 36 holes in one day. And it's middle of summer, right? It's blazing hot out usually for those guys.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there were some pretty cool stories with Q-School. You got James Nicholas, who
Love that
he's
guy,
been on
man.
a few YouTube golf videos,
Yeah.
stuff like
He
that.
got a great swing
I
too.
mean, yeah, really good golf swing. Birdied 4 of his last 6 to get in.
Wow. For the
Yeah,
for the 40 for the next 40 for Corn Ferry next year.
yeah, yep, to get in for the next 40. I think he ended up being in by more than one shot, so he wasn't like right on the cut line.
Yeah.
Um,
He didn't
but
Joel Damon it.
yeah, for a while he was right on the cut line.
Yeah.
But I think some guys came in with some good scores. But yeah, I think almost 50 guys made it out of that next
The next group.
that next wave because of how many ties there were. That was a cool one. A strange one I saw from the week was Sam Bennett. He withdrew after or during round 3. He started on the back 9 and was like 4 over through 5 or something like that, and then withdrew. And I couldn't find any stories on it if he was hurt or what happened there, or if he just was like, I'm 4 over through 5 holes, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad
I'm
glad you brought that up because I put that down on my notes. Sam Bennett, Pearson Cootie, Christo Lamprecht, and Hayden Springer. So Hayden
Cootie made it
for the next 40. Yeah, right.
Next 40.
Yeah. Yep. I believe he won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour last year, though.
Pearson Cootie?
I'm pretty certain. Maybe I need to be fact checked on that. I could have swore I thought he would, because when you win 3 times, obviously you get a tour card.
Yeah. Well, does he have a brother?
Parker, but not Parker. Yeah. Pearson's the better of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just wonder if maybe it was Parker that was playing Q-School.
No, it was Pearson. I checked.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing what happened is he got. I'm gonna guarantee and say he won 3 times on Corn Ferry Tour. Got his that Michelob Ultra golfer's beer right there. He won 3 times. Yeah, he won 3 times on Corn Ferry Tour. But I'm thinking he just fell outside the 125. I'm guessing that's what happened. Yeah. Lost it, and then is now have status for next year. But so Sam Bennett, obviously stellar. He's got that side bend action, like nobody's business. Yeah. Played in the Masters, and so expect to see him grind his way back to the tour. Same with Pearson Cootie. Christo Lamprecht, the Georgia Tech guy, like 6'8", you know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah.
He was in good position after the first couple of days. He was under par. Like, I don't know if you saw after day 1, everybody shot basically right around par. I mean, maybe I think 1 or 2 under was like the best. And then one cat shot 61, set the course record. But then he followed it up. He shot 76 the next day and, kind of fell back a little bit. But nonetheless, I mean, the guys were coming into an interviews and they're like, what golf course this guy's playing,
Yeah.
But anyways, and then Hayden Springer. So Hayden, he had PGA Tour status last year. I mean, he shot 59 at the John Deere. I mean, the dude was an absolute stalliano. But same type of deal, man. I mean, the FedEx Cup points are hard to come by, and you got to have finishes to slowly move up the leaderboard. I mean, really only wins and top 5s move the needle for FedEx Cup points. And so, those were the ones that I was really looking at. Was there anybody else that you saw?
No, not really. It was kind of heartbroken for Doherty. I think that's how he's spelling it.
Yeah, I know the Barstool cat.
Barstool guy.
Yeah,
really wanted to see that guy make it through, but
I know.
Yeah,
that would have been electric too for the Barstool channel, man, because they've been tracking him for a while now. So
yeah, he came out. He doubled his first hole today.
Yeah,
which is par 5. So
yeah.
I couldn't find any footage of what happened.
Seven strokes. That's just mentally, that's a lot. It's it's like, it feels like you just played 2 holes in 1. That's how many strokes it is.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It was funny. Out at Tiffany one time, I was playing with a group of guys, and the first hole, par 5, the whole got water cover, and I made an 8 on it. And then the next 2 holes are, they're not super tough par 4s, but they're challenging. And I birdied both of them. And because, yeah, you remember whenever you took 8 strokes to get in the hole on the very first hole today? What's that? Yeah, yeah. And I just played these 2 in less than that. It's wild, the game of golf sometimes, man. I think I lost your audio. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. No, guys. Having some technical difficulties. You run out of battery on that, Joey? No.
Okay, what about now?
Now I got you.
Okay, I guess that mic died. When I was giving you the little duck thing, I was trying to tell you to talk to fill
Yeah.
the sound space. It's all right. I'll edit this out.
I would say you can edit it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, golf's a fickle game. You and I are playing tomorrow at, of course, Mules National, Warrensburg, Missouri, home of the University of Central Missouri Mules and Jennies. D2 school, same conference as Northwest Missouri State.
Yep.
Have you played out there before?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
It's a really incredible facility for Division II golf, especially in Missouri. I mean, if you're in Missouri, I'd say that's probably, top 4 golf schools you can probably go to.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got quite the facilities for them.
So I looked it up online a couple hours ago on YouTube. So they have YouTube. So they have a page. It's got 9 subscribers, but they put a flyover of every hole in the course. So I watched that. But I played in a Monday qualifier last year, and during the practice round, I got paired with a kid. His name's Ian. Not a kid. He's a man. He got a son. But his name's Ian Barnes. And we had a great practice round together. And I texted him, and because he assistant coaches, he volunteer coaches at Warrensburg. And so I texted him. I was like, hey, do you want to come out and play with me and my buddy? We're filming, for Three Wiggle Golf. And unfortunately, he's out of town. He's not going to be able to make it. But he was like, you're going to love it. He's like, this course is legit. So
yeah,
I'm pumped.
It's very good.
I'm pumped. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that's a wrap for episode 1, pilot of Three Wiggle Golf podcast. Like I said, episodes coming Mondays for the weekly wrap like today. And then we'll have guest interviews about twice a month you can expect now for the foreseeable future. So stay tuned on that. And like I said, share the show, subscribe, comment, and keep on making some bird dogs. Spencer?
Have a good night, brother.
Yeah, you too, man. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Peace.